Hello guys, so today we are going to connect our Flutter app with the Firebase, and to do that we are going to make a new project. And I just made a new project, and the next thing I want over here is that to connect our Flutter app with our Firebase console we need the Firebase core package. Okay, so we can get that from the pub.dev. The newest version was published 9 days ago, so you can copy this and you can paste it in the pubspec.yaml file just like this, and you can just press the pub get and it will get the dependency for you. So the next thing I want over here is that to basically connect our app with the Firebase console we need a project over there. So we are going to the Firebase console, and in the Firebase console I just made a new project as Firebase Connect. So to basically start with our connection of our apps, what we need to do is that we want to set up our Firebase console. We have to do some things so that we can connect our app with the Firebase console, or we can allow the communication between the Firebase console and in our app. So to do that, what we want to do is that there are two approaches for that. The first one is that we can set up the platforms individually. It means that we can do it for Android, iOS and the web. So we can do that individually, or we can do that with this option, the Flutter option. So for the Flutter option, what we want to do is that we want to have the Firebase CLI installed in our system. So to how we can get that, first of all, you can use a standalone library, but I won't prefer that because it created some issues in my system and I was not able to use it. So I would suggest installing it from the npm, short for Node Package Manager, and for this you will need the Node installed in your system. I've already done this and I've already installed the Firebase CLI, so I don't need to do this again. And when you are set up with this, when you have done all the installation, you will need to log in to the same console where you are making this project. Okay, so next I'll just do it. In the previous step, you will need to, when you have done the installation for the first time, you will need to use the Firebase Login. You will have to log in to the same email using the same email and password, or the whatever you use to log in. So you will need the same email and password to connect your Firebase CLI with the Firebase console. Okay, so I've already done that, so I won't be doing this again, and it's pretty simple. So the next thing I want over here is that I want to run this command in the global command prompt, and let's just wait for it. Meanwhile, what I want to do is that, okay, I've just done this, so let's just wait for it. So as you can see that my FlutterFire CLI is active. Okay, and the next thing I want over here is that I want to run this command in my terminal from the project, from the folder that I'm using my system. It's from my project. Okay, so let's just use a new terminal, and as you can see that it opens the terminal in the same folder where my project resides. So I'll just place this command and I'll run it. So it will use the FlutterFire configure. It's basically using the Firebase console, the Firebase CLI, and it will just run this command, and it will then check for the logged in Firebase console, and it will check for the project over there. And as you can see, it is fetching the available projects in the Firebase project, and then it will select the one that matches it. So let's just wait for it. Okay, so it's asking me that which platforms should your configuration support. So I want it for Android, iOS, web, I don't need it for Mac. Okay, so I will just unselect it and then press enter, and let's just wait for it. So first it will try to fetch the registered Android apps, as we have not registered any app for Android, iOS and web, so it won't find it, and then it will register new apps, the new 3 apps for our project. So I'll just come when it's done. So it's done, and it has connected all my Flutter apps with my Firebase Console. Okay, so let me just close it. And if you're familiar with the native Android setup, you will know that it puts a file, the JSON file, Google Services.json file, in our apps folder, and in that case you will have to do it manually, but in this case the way that I use it, we won't have to set it up manually. It will be set up automatically from the Firebase CLI. Okay, so let's just wait for it, and let's just run our app in our phone and run it without debugging, because yeah, it will work fine. So let's just wait for it, and then I'll show you when the app has loaded. So my app is opened in my phone, and as I didn't do anything on the default project, so it's just working like a normal project. If you see the initialize Firebase and add plugins, we have to initialize the Firebase with our app, and we are going to do that. Let me just copy this code, and we are going to use this over here, and let me just make it an async, and we are going to let me just copy it from here. Okay, so it's working fine. The next thing I want over here is that I want to ensure that the widgets flutter binding dot ensure initialize. Okay, so it will work fine, and let me just restart my app, and let's just wait for it. And okay, it's showing that hard restart is completed, but I don't see anything. Let me just restart it myself. Let's just wait for it. So this is the basic way of connecting our Firebase with the Flutter app, and as you can see in our console, it shows that device is unlocked, initializing all Firebase APIs for the app. Okay, so it ensures that our app is finally connected with our Firebase, and we can now enable whatever we want to do. Like we want to add authentication or file store database or whatever we want for our app, we can do that. So that's all for now. Thank you.